What up, everybody? This is the Blue Review, and this is Thor number 2. And the Thor the Dark World. Yes, the Dark World. Well, this is Marvel's Phase 2. And the movie started out pretty interesting. It explained to us what the Dark Elves are all about. And then, we see Thor and whatnot, and shit gets crazy and all that. They call it the what is it? The ether? Ether? I say ether. We'll just call it that. That red shit that gives you power, or whatever. And yeah, I mean the movie was all right. I mean the story was okay. Thor, for me, Thor is so hard to film as a movie because I mean he's like from a different world, and why we get that. He's from a different world, and he just, to me, as a director or as a writer or whatever, it would be very hard to make it realistic or whatever, or make it where make it where they just did it from the comic books, and these guys just did it from the comic books, and it was interesting. He sees his old girlfriend again, Jane, who's been waiting for him all this time, and she's mad, and she slaps him, and then kisses him and whatnot. And then it's pretty cool how they did the teleporting thing, where they dropped the bottle, and then it disappeared, and then it came from the sky again. That was pretty cool. I really liked that. Nice little effect there during the movie. Excuse me, heartburn. Sucks. Um, and then we get Loki, who I think Loki is amazing. I love Loki. We all do. He's very funny, and he stole the movie. I mean, he just steals the show. He just does an amazing job. I mean, he just Tom Hiddleston, which is the actor who plays Loki. He's just an amazing actor, and he plays Loki very well. And he is Loki. Like nobody can portray Loki like he can. And you know, the Dark Elves come to our Asgard because Asgard. Uh, well, first of all, Jane gets in that teleporting thing by accident. I think she was going towards a door or something, and then she disappeared, and she ended up where the ether was buried away for thousands of years because they don't want the Dark Elves to find it and whatnot. And so then she gets into her, like, looks like Venom. If you ever seen Spider-Man, you know what Venom is, then, or if you've seen Spider-Man 3, Venom, that black stuff that crawls on. But this didn't crawl on her, it went inside her. Uh, yeah, so the ether got into her Jane, and now she possesses the power. But it can kill her because it overtakes her. It's too powerful for her. So then, Thor wants to check her out and stuff, to see what's wrong with her, and takes her back to Asgard, and they're trying to check her out, and then Odin gets all pissed off because she doesn't belong in Asgard. She's a human, she's from Earth, put her back, stuff like that. It's like you tell your kid, put that toy back, That's how it was. That's how it felt like to me. Like, hey, put that back. Then here come the Dark Elves. They come to Asgard, just guns blazing because they really want to get that power back. To make the universe dark again, stuff like that. Then they killed his mom. That was shocking that they killed Thor's mom, and that was like, whoa. And she fought like brilliantly. Like I didn't think she was a ass kicking warrior like that, but she like really kicked ass. Like you have no idea how much ass she kicked. Like I was like, okay, she's gonna swing, miss, and then get stabbed. Like normal girl. Sorry, girls. Normal girls fighting skills, right? But no, she was like a fucking Jedi Knight with her lightsaber just going zzz, 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 and just crazy, crazy. And then and then she took one for the team, and she got stabbed, and Jane, she hit Jane, but it was a telegraph of her. They didn't know, and they tried to get her, but they went through and whatever. She didn't tell them where she was at, so she died for her. And Sif is that blonde, that brunette girl who I think is really hot. She kind of reminds me of Xena, uh, the warrior princess. She's like a kick-ass warrior of Thor's, best friend of Thor's, and it seems like she's jealous. Like she's jealous of Jane. Like she doesn't want. She wants Thor to love her. They don't say anything about that, but there's a couple like you could tell when a girl likes a guy and she's pissed off because he's with another girl. Like you can totally see that, which they didn't really say much about. So then Loki is all messed up in his dungeon because they killed the mother or whatever, and Thor needs his help to go capture, to kill the elves and destroy the Aether, which is very powerful. It cannot be destroyed. It can be destroyed, but it takes a lot to destroy it. You have to be very powerful to do so. And Odin doesn't want to go after the elves. He stays and says, hey, we're going to wait till the elves come to us. We're not going to go look for them. Thor says, no, forget that, we're going. So they went, and he got Loki, and it's funny how there was one scene that just cracked me up with Loki. He keeps changing himself, like he changed himself into a guard, and then he changed Thor into Sif, which was the girl warrior, changed it to her, and then he changes to Captain America, because I was wondering, what Avenger is going to come into this movie? I want to know who's going to show up, because we know somebody's going to show up, and sure enough, it was Captain America shows up, and Loki changed himself to Captain America. That was so funny, like I was cracking up during that. And then then they go and they trick their dad into leaving, like they committed treason. They tricked their dad and whatnot, and they got out of there and went to the Dark World and tried to make the exchange, but Thor could not destroy the Aether, and so he possessed the Aether. He went to Earth, and Loki died, or we thought he did. He died, and because they were battling and whatnot, and he died, and so then. Go back to Earth, have that battle, which wasn't really a battle. Thor was really strong, and he did his absolute best to stop the elf, and he did a great job at that. And then, then at the end, I'm trying to get to the special scene here. I'm trying to cut through this movie as fast as I can, and then we get to the end where Thor and Odin are talking, and he said he's sorry, but he cannot be king, and blah 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 blah. And then Odin says, okay, good, my son, blah, blah, blah. Thor walks away, and Odin's sitting there in his throne. And then it changes to Loki. Like, it was Loki the whole time. So where's Odin? Like, where the hell is he? I don't think Loki killed him, but he has Odin somewhere. He probably has him locked up or whatnot. So we're wondering where Odin is. Okay, so if you stay during the credits, you see a scene where it's two of the warriors, Sif and that big guy with the beard, Thor's friends. You're saying, here, we cannot possess this because we have the Tesseract. We don't want two relics or whatever near each other or some shit like that. And they met this guy named the Collector. The Collector is a guy in Marvel Comics who collects really rare items. And he is a certain being that has been around for millions of years. And he collects, just to buy the time through space or whatnot, he collects the rarest things. And now he has the Aether. And he said, 1 down, 5 to go. Now, when he said 1 down, 5 to go, there's this comic book storyline called the Affinity Gauntlet. And I have explained this before. The Infinity Gauntlet is a gauntlet made of 5, 6 stones, whatever, and it makes this glove that Thanos, which is the guy's face that you see at the end of the credits for Avengers. You know, he turns around and you see his face. He's like red or purple or whatever you want to say. He's a purple, but it looked red and whatnot. People thought he was Red Skull from Captain America, but it's not. Jesus Christ, let that go already. Red Skull's dead. Um, yeah. So the Collector said that, and there's a thing called Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos, which is the guy I just told you about, he destroys half the galaxy, like the universe. Like he destroys the universe with that gauntlet, and it has 5 gems. So it looks like Marvel, instead of it being 5 gemstones, there's 5 items. Like the Tesseract is 1, which is the cube from Avengers, that that blue cube that everyone's after. Now the 2 is the Ether from a Thor 2, the red shit. I don't know what to call it. It's like glue or whatever. I don't know, that red stuff. So it looks like they're not going gems. It looks like they're going with uh, uh, items, which is funny because if you watch Thor 1 and you see all these different items in that they're in Odin's vault, you see the Infinity Gauntlet already right there. So you're wondering, how the hell is this going to play in effect? I mean, do the items take you to the gems, or do the gems make do they turn into the gems? Is the gem inside the Tesseract? Does the ether form a gem? I mean, how is it going to work? Like, how are they going to make it work? Oh, and another thing about the Collector, he does eventually collect superheroes. He collects Thor. He'll have them in a glass case, but they're knocked out. They're in sleep mode, and they're just he has them collected like a statue. He actually collects superheroes, and whatnot. So it's going to be very interesting. The Collector, which is played by Benicio del Toro, he will be in the next year's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is kind of like an Avenger-like movie, kind of, but it's a setup for to this whole storyline that we're going through. So you have to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to watch it just because it's Marvel and just to see what it's about. I really don't know what the hell Guardians of the Galaxy is about. I never read that line of characters. So it's gonna be interesting how it's gonna play out. So yes, Thanos is, which they said is the end boss. So what they're saying by the end boss, if you ever play a video game and you get to the end, and it's kind of like Super Mario. You play Super Mario. Those of you that played on Super Nintendo, you get to the end and you see Bowser in the castle. That's how Thanos is going to be in Marvel's. He's the end boss. So the Avengers are going to go through all this shit. They're facing Ultron in Avengers 2, and then Avengers 3 might be Thanos. So it's a build-up. It's building up to the big finale, and eventually we're going to have the Infinity Gauntlet, which I love that comic book line, is going to be the movie. And that's later on in the Avengers storyline. So we'll see how it goes. It's getting very interesting now. Now I'm really anxious to see how this is going to turn out and whatnot. Thanks guys for watching this video. Go check out Thor 2. And hopefully you've seen it if you're watching this video, because I just spoiled a lot of things for you. But go watch it. If you don't get the ending, that special scene, like I said, watch what I just said a few minutes ago, and it all should click in. If you don't know what I'm still saying, then hit me up and I'll explain to you in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, comment, do what you guys need to do, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace.